And in the studio today, I'd love to provide a very warm welcome, no mai haere mai, to Acting Mainpower CE Damien Wiffen. Good morning, Damien. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you in the studio. So, Damien, bit of a big topic. We're going to split the interview into two today because we've got some really cool topics that we need to discuss. And thank you for coming in because it's been a wee while since we've had a chance to catch up with Mainpower on here.
Yeah, so we've been major sponsors for quite a long time, and it's good to come back and be part of the community and spend some time with Compass FM.
Greatly appreciate it coming in. Hey, so today the first topic we're going to talk about is poles, power poles. So what happens when a car hits a pole, and why does the power go out? Kind of an obvious question, but a pretty good question to. I'd imagine there's lots of redundancies. So why will my power still go out when the power pole gets hit?
Yeah, so look, interesting topic. We've had quite an increase over the last 12 months in terms of cars or third-party interference with our poles. So certainly one of our safety messages at the moment. But when a car hits a pole, they're certainly not designed for that. And depending on the type of pole, depends on the type of damage that can occur. So if it's a concrete, they can shatter depending on the speed in which they're hit. But yeah, the power goes out when the conductors, which the power pole's designed to keep up in the air and everyone's safe from, hits the ground, and we have protection equipment that is there to keep the public safe.
So you mentioned that there are concrete ones. So are all poles the same?
No, not all poles are the same. So we, depending on the type of area, is the type of pole we'll put up, and our designers look at that. So we use concrete poles, hardwood poles, and softwood poles. And we're currently looking into the use of potential fiberglass poles in the future. So depending on what the area and the environmental impacts that it may have, we look at different solutions with that.
So when a car hits a pole and the power goes out, or maybe not, we are talking about cars at the moment, but maybe even a tree takes one out, how many people get affected by that? Like, is it a massive area or just localised sometimes?
It depends on where the pole's located. So if one happens in the middle of Rangiora, for instance, then it would have quite a much bigger impact in terms of the amount of customers that are affected. Whereas if it was a small sort of road in the rural parts of the network, then there would be less people impacted on that. So it really does depend on which pole is hit, where it's located, and how many customers are beyond that pole.
I mean, the ideal would be no poles being hit, right?
Absolutely. So, that would be our ideal, yeah.
Absolutely. So with that, Damien, why can't we just put all the poles, and I know some areas have the electricity underground, so why do we still have poles in some places? Can we not just go underground?
Yeah, most of it's cost. It is significantly more expensive to go underground, and our role is to do the trade-off between cost and reliability. And if we undergrounded everything, then everyone's power bill would go up significantly.
Right.
So it can be up to 10 times more expensive to go underground.
Wow.
So, as custodians of the network and making sure that we keep power prices as low as possible, they're kind of the trade-offs we make in terms of how we design the network.
Gotcha. I'm talking to Damien Wiffen, Acting Mainpower CE. Damien, so when a pole goes down, gets hit, what's the cost and who pays for that?
Yeah, so it depends on the type of pole and what it's got on top of it. Okay. So not all poles are the same. It can be anything from $10,000 up to $30,000 and beyond, depending on what's on there.
Yeah.
So we have transformer poles, and there could be a river crossing pole, depending on what that purpose that pole is serving, and how complex it is. You've got traffic management costs, so depending on location as well is impacts how much that costs.
So who would pay for that? If you had a power pole, who pays for that? Is that you, because you've hit the power pole?
So it's the person who hits the power pole or their insurer, and so it's not Mainpower that we look to recover that cost. Otherwise, being community owned, that means that if we were to to cover that cost. That means that is across the whole North Canterbury community. So for us, it's the person who hits that pole is responsible for the replacement cost of that.
And I guess it's also time dependent as to how long it takes to fix. And, you know, as I mentioned actually off here, we had an incident in Woodend where our power surged and then a couple of seconds later it went off and we went, oh, okay. And strangely enough, all the kids came out of their space and the computer wasn't working. Strange that.
Yeah, Wi-Fi, all of the things that keep them in their room.
Yeah, and they're like, oh no. So how long would it take to fix a pole? Is it dependent once again on what type of pole it is?
Same sort of factors again. Okay. So location and the type of pole that it is and how complex that pole is.
So West Coast scenario here, Damien. I unfortunately end up hitting a power pole. What should I do? A, if it's me that's hit the power pole, or B, someone who is on site just after I've had that incident and maybe I'm incapable of getting out of the car. How close should I get? Is it safe to get out of my car? Is it safe for people who are there to get out of the car? What should we do?
Yeah, stay inside the car.
Okay.
Depending on if the conductors have hit the ground or they could be lying on top of the car, or every crash is different. Mm-hmm. But stay in and wait for emergency services. Yep. And if you are a bystander or someone
first on the scene.
Yeah, first on the scene. Just be careful. It could still be live.
Okay.
And don't approach the car. Just make sure everyone's okay, and just wait for those professionals to arrive to make sure the power is isolated, and that everyone's okay. So
ring 111. So how what's the sort of the distance that we could potentially say I am a first responder, I just happen to be first on the scene, a member of the public. How close could I get to that car?
Yeah, you'd want to stay at least 10 metres away.
Oh, wow, okay, yep.
Yeah, and then just because the only problem for people who are bystanders or first on the scene is that we don't know if the power is still connected or not, depending on where those conductors are lied. And walking up towards that could prove fatal. So we just tell people to stay away. It's human nature that we want to make sure everyone's okay. But the last thing we want is someone seriously injured or even worse.
Yeah, as we always, I've done my first aid certificate recently, and it's like any incident, make sure you're safe first before you decide to do something else like that. But
same
just
applies.
Bring 111, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Damien, I've just got another couple of questions and then we're going to take a wee bit of a break. So how many poles are there around North Canterbury? Whose job is it to count that as well too?
Oh, look, we have some great asset engineers that look after that. So they've assured me we've got 56,000 poles.
Holy, that's a lot.
Rounding included in that.
Okay.
So yeah, quite a lot all over North Canterbury.
Yeah, perfect. Now the big tip, of course, is when the power goes off, what are some things we should do to be prepared for that potential? Yeah,
have a no power plan. And for those who don't, have a look on our website. But it's some pretty common sense stuff. Have a torch handy, a candle. Make sure you've got some extra blankets if you're relying on heat pumps, for instance. All of those things that you don't think of until it goes out. Our rural customers, if they're on pumps, making sure that you've got some sort of water supply during that time. So have a look at our website and we can help people.
Absolutely. More. And torches and radios, folks. So you can still buy the good old radios, and you can tune into Compass FM and we can give you updates. Also, there is a website that Mainpower has, which is an outage website that you can also check out to see and confirm that your power may or may not be out and when it is expected to roughly pop back up again. Yeah, perfect. Thanks so much for that. We're going to take a wee bit of a break and come back with Damien Wiffen, acting Mainpower CE. I'm going to be talking about the community fund round. Really looking forward to talking about this. Be back with Damien in just a sec. Great song to lead back into. I'm talking to acting Mainpower CE Damien Wiffen. Back with him to talk about community fund. So Damien, really exciting. This community fund's been running for, I'm just trying to think, as long as I've been at Compass FM, so probably at least 14 years, I'm thinking. And so I thought we'll start off with, can you tell us a little bit about the community fund?
Yeah, so twice a year we allocate around $40,000 each one of those. And we're just about to have that fund open up. And it closes on Monday the 22nd of September. So we're really proud of this fund. And as I said, $40,000 that we get to distribute. So it's one of the most enjoyable part of the jobs that we have, where we can actually give back to the community.
And giving back to the community, Mainpower has done for a number of years, and from many organisations and events. And of course, we've got the fantastic Mainpower Stadium on Coldstream Road there. You've got the Mainpower Amberley swimming pool as well too. So lots of community involvement, which is what we love, right? So how much? So it's $40,000 for this round.
This round, yes,
yeah.
40,000.
So what sort of projects get funded? So I've named a couple, but who can kind of apply for this?
Yeah, anything that makes a difference within the community. So in the past, we've had preschool yard upgrades, assistance to medical drivers, young people getting their driver's licence. So they can be wide-ranging, and it does make a difference to the community. So anyone who thinks that they are making a difference to the community, that's what this fund is for. So if they need some assistance to do that, then please get an application in.
Absolutely. So it closes on the 21st. So, my calendar's disappeared.
Monday the 22nd of September.
Thank you very much. My calendar's disappeared at the studio. I'm not quite sure where they went. Now, so where could we find out more? So if we're an organisation, and so I know that in the past, like Riding for Disabled has benefited from it. I think maybe the North Canterbury Minibus Trust, so many places.
Yeah.
Where could we find out more if we think, hey, that sounds like us?
Yeah. So head to our website. We have a full list of what's eligible and what's not. www.mainpower.co.nz, and just search for Community Fund.
Easy peasy. And please, folks, make sure you do apply. Give it a crack. Head over there for more details to see if that applies for you as well. Hey, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'd love to have you come back in again, maybe a little bit more regularly, time permitting, would be fantastic. So we can look at the other ways that Mainpower help us in our community. Once again, mainpower.co.nz is the website to find out all the details. Also, the outages map is fantastic as well. There's lots of ways that you can get connected with Mainpower as well too. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you. It's been great.
Damien Wiffen, Acting CE for Mainpower. We'll catch you back another time.